welcome to another episode of what? Self First, You First is all about you. You already know I am Shawanna Kennedy. Hello, Self Firsters. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the time that we have set aside to do what? Showcase and spotlight and highlight one of our own, the people who have been rocking, riding, they get it. Life has shown up. They have gotten to the point where they understand the importance of putting themselves first. Any of you who don't know me and you're joining me for the very first time, I am Shawanna Kennedy. I know all too well what it looks like to not take care of myself. I know what it looks like to be looking faced up, having the conversation with God to then say it's no longer about my children. It's no longer about my husband. It had to be about me. Anybody know anything about me is never above our creator because yes, I love God. Yes, I do. But I do realize that he has made me a gift. You are a gift. So this is the space. This is the place that it's all about who. It's all about you, and you. And so this is the time that we have set aside to pull in one of our own, one of our community members so that we can hear real life stories of people and individuals who need to have the opportunity and had to by force. I say it's by choice or by force, but in some cases it's by force to put themselves first. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So I wonder who our guest is today. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Felicia, look, Jackson.
Hello.
I am excited. Thank you so much for pausing from your life to just come in and have a conversation with me, but then to share with the community, share with individuals your story. This is to spotlight you. I know that you are, look, now you're proud to say that you are a wife. You've been a mommy for many a year.
Many years.
You work, you understand, and you have health scares, health concerns, all of those things. And it's pausing. So nobody better than you that I am. I'm grateful because, just to give you guys, y'all tipping toeing in. What I say, when you look back over life and say, you have a friend that's been a friend all of your life. Now, this is one that's literally my entire life. Because we are a day apart and we have been knowing each other since we knew who we were.
Exactly.
How far back our history go. So watching some of the ebbs and flows of life with you, with family and all of that, man, I can't wait to get in it. So just, say hello, Felicia. Say
hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be asked to be a part of this, to share some ups and downs, but more so the ups that's been in my life for a minute. And I'm happy to share.
That is great. So I want to know, and I have to ask you, so as we jump into this self-first conversation, this you-first conversation is, what was the moment in the circumstance? Because we know, right, life be lifing, but where it was by force that you said, no, my babies, I understand they things be going on with them, but I've got to make it about Felicia. What had to happen for you to then have that moment like, oh, shoot, God help me, but it got to be about me? What happened?
Well, a lot of you may or may not know, I went through a period in my life where I dealt with my children being sick and in and out the hospital. And then my auntie told me one day, you have to stop always being a mother. Your kids are grown. You taught them how to be self-sufficient. They're going to need you, but you need to need yourself as well. So I started putting more time into me, spending time with myself, dating myself, treating myself to doing stuff that I would normally do with the children. So I put Felicia first. It was hard. It was a hard process, and my kids, they, always felt like, well, you're going out to eat without us, but I had to do that because I needed to find me again. I was always wrapped into their world and their life of taking care of them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's juicy stuff right there. When we think about that, and that's real, and it happens for all of us, because for some people, that's all they know. Their moms. There's even dads that could be watching this. All they know is their children. men are providers, women are providers as well, but men are providers. It's like, I got to work. I have to do this for my family. I have to do this for my kids. But all along the way, we are neglecting ourselves. And in that, it is a sin, because there's things that God has for us. And if we're not, it is not a cliche. And we cannot say it enough. If we don't do these things, then they're going to, by force, they're going to show up. And so looking at life and looking at those things that happen to you, it makes you want to know too, what was that one thing though? What happened? Like to say, what was it? Tell us, what was it? Like, this is it. This is the last straw.
I would have to say the last straw that made me really just like start living and enjoying my life was a couple of things. So the first thing I could say was I spent most of my days, I used to sing with a gospel group. I worked full time. I was a full-time mommy. And like I said in the previous statement, I was always doing for everybody, but I wasn't doing for Felicia. And then when Felicia needed somebody, nobody was there. So Felicia had to learn to be there for herself. So it was a process of me saying, I need to eliminate some things. I'm never going to eliminate God from my life, because he's the first, most important person in my world. But I had to eliminate the fact that I was running for my group. I was running for my children. I had to start running for me. And then when I started running for me, I woke up one day and I was just like, oh, I enjoyed my life without children, without the group, without the family. It was just Felicia. Hair, nails, makeup, pedicure, treated myself to lunch, and bought me a couple of outfits. And it was about spending money on me and not them. Because I spent a lot of money on a lot of people over the course of years, but I had to learn how to treat myself. Besides hair done, I had to learn how to, you like other things. So I went back to start getting my nails done and doing the pedicures, and just, I'm not going to never not be a mother. That's my title. I'm a mother. I'm gonna be a mother to the day I die, but I also have to be Felicia. And everybody know once it became about me, y'all see the post. I throw my husband in there every night again, but all my pictures, you will see it. It's say Miss Fancy, good morning, and show up my hair, show up my nails. So I keep them in the background, but they be happy now. I'm like, stand right there. This is a good picture.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's real good. You because I know if nobody else, as far as social media and as it relates to, you're correct, Miss Fancy, that she is affectionately known as Miss Fancy. Okay. So you heard her say that she's affectionately known as Miss Fancy to a lot. Those that love her, she's affectionately known to be called Miss Fancy. And there's nothing to see where every day, I mean, I know it was at least for a year straight, every day, there was a selfie, a selfie of the morning, and it was you. It was every morning. And I love that you were not afraid to look at yourself. I love that you didn't mind getting in front of the camera, because that's such a big fear for a lot of people, to be able to do that and embrace every season that we're in. Yes, we definitely in a different season right now. We're in a different season right now. But in every season, to still be able to embrace yourself and love yourself in every season. And when I think about the seasons, because we all still do, because it has to be, it's not even about a balancing act, right? It's about creating more harmony. It's about more harmony, because, we're going to always have to shift here and make some adjustments there. It's then when you made the choice, it was beyond a choice. You then made a decision, because it has to then be a decision. So with that decision, and you still looking now, because I know there's still some good days, right? And we say we won't complain, as the old church song goes. But every now and then, what is still one of the, if you can be honest, what is one of the things that still is just a little bit challenging than others as it relates to putting you first?
I would say the biggest challenge is that every night when I go to bed, I say the same prayer. And I basically say the prayer to ask God to give me strength, because sometime throughout my day can start off perfectly fine. Then there's one of the children that needs to go here to the hospital, the ER, or the husband had a bad day. So I ask God every day to give me strength to be that the wife, the mother, the friend, the sister, the auntie that I need to be, but also don't let me forget about Felicia in the process, because it can get very tiresome when you got all your kids grown, they live here and there, but they still need mommy. So my daily prayer is, in the process of me worrying about all those 5 people that's important in my life, don't let me forget that Felicia is important as well. Because we could get so consumed with being a wife, being a mommy, that we forget sometimes. Like it's days where I'm broke down, but at the end of the day, I took on that role to be a mother. I took on that role to be a wife. So whether I'm sick, well, or anything, I still have to continue the roles that I took on. So my kids understand, like they'll call. This is a funny story. I have a 25-year-old. She could call me and be like, "Mommy, can you come over tomorrow after work?" And as soon as I get to her house, she wants to sit on my lap. And that makes her feel better. So that makes me feel better as well, because I still got grown children that still need me, like they're still my little ones. So it's a process. And I tell all the ladies and men, even in your daily routine in life, being a mother, father, a wife, a husband, still think about you, and you. Because
Yeah,
at
I
the
love
end of
it.
the day, who's going to think about you if you don't?
I love it. I love it. You guys, will be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here with, look, Mrs. Felicia Jackson Hale. She is married. She's married now. She's married now. And we have been having an amazing conversation with her, just being real about what it looks like to have adult children that actually still need you. And I sit in the same seat too. And I'm grateful that when we can get old enough where our children, because we both, I told you, we've been knowing each other since the beginning of our time, and having both adult and a minor child, both of us. How funny is that? Only God would do something like that. But to know that we still have relationship with our adult children, and saying how they still need us, and it is still where the relationship changes, and as it relates to you making you a priority, but you still being able to be there for them. Absolutely. And even teaching them how to be there for themselves, how to do it differently than we did. I'll be honest. One of my prayers was that, because of course, us being the not quite 20 before having my oldest, my prayer used to be like, please, dear Lord, let her go further than me before, if she may have the choice to be a parent, right? That used to be one of my prayers for my kids when I think about that. And so I get it, having the cares and the concerns. Matter of fact, I even saw a post recently that said, nobody prays harder than a person with adult children.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. So then it still can be pulling on you. I'm saying it to say how even we think about the little ones and how needy that they may need us, our younger ones may need us, but then the older ones, and worrying and being concerned and the pulling on that. So I love the way that the prayer that you say that you pray, that he still allow you to be able to be there for them, but not forget about you. And that has to be our prayer, oh Lord. Lord, oh Lord. And that has to be our prayer. So I really do appreciate that. And then because sometimes there's individuals, there could be somebody out there that they like, yeah, I hear you. Matter of fact, I even know Shawanna, I know you. I even know Felicia too. I know y'all, right? Both of y'all married. You're married with children, and you do this dance of saying it's still about me. You know, like I said, we say that anybody know anything about this, it's never but God. But then there's him, and then there's me. There's him, and then there's you. There's him, and then there's you, and you. And
Absolutely.
we have to remember that it is in the book, and sometimes people get it twisted. When we think about, I think about Felicia all the time, saying like a good neighbor, because we really was neighbors. I mean, literally, we could walk about 10, 15 paces and be at each other's door. I'm telling you, it's been since the beginning of time.
Yes.
And the problem is some of us have with relationships within not only our neighbor, but it's being a neighbor to ourselves. We're not good to ourselves.
No.
And it's affected across every other relationship that we have. And so with that, I need you to look at the camera, and I want you just to even talk to somebody who say, yeah, I'm a mother. I may or may not be married. I may or may not even have some kids, but for somebody to understand that before we even get to talking about, because you haven't even talked about what it looks like to put yourself first when you don't feel good, and because there's sickness, not just I'm having a bad day. I really don't feel good because of other health things. I need you to lean in and look right at the screen and talk to that person for a moment.
Okay, so it's been, this past year has been one of my trying years as being Felicia. I was diagnosed with a few health things, and I know that God's going to bring me through. It's just a test. It's just another test of a testimony that I'll have for somebody. But ladies, I can say this, even on them days when your body is aching and you feel like you just ready to call Gaines Funeral Home and tell them, I'm just going to sign myself in to see you. You have to keep going. Every day I get up, it's some part of my body that's aching. But I get up, I put on my lashes. I don't have on any today. I put on my lashes, I put on my eye makeup, and I, put a little shine to this hair and slap on these Versace glasses and my outfit for the day, and I make the best of it. And then I tell myself, even though the inside don't feel good, you make your outside look better. That's just my thing. People will say, I can't even tell that you're sick, because I don't want you to tell that I'm sick. I want my sickness, what I have, I don't let it stop me from slapping them lashes on, slapping that eye makeup on, putting on my armor all on my lips, and putting this jewelry on, and being Felicia, being Miss Fancy, because it can't be a day that I can't be Miss Fancy. And I ask God to give me strength to go through them 8 and 9 hours of work. So ladies, what I'm saying is, even though your outside feel ugly, make that your inside feel ugly. Let me reframe that. Your inside may feel ugly and googie and whatever words you want to use. Always make that outer appearance your best appearance, because you can turn that down to a up and have the best day of your life. Like yesterday, I was not feeling the best, but I went home, I prayed, I went to sleep, and I woke up, and I was able to make my family some dinner. Then they said it was the best dinner they had because I hadn't cooked in 2 days. But even though I wasn't feeling good, I still had to remember to be 1, Felicia, 2, a wife, 3, a mother, because my daughter needed to eat, my husband needed to eat, and I needed to nourish whatever was going on with me. So always think about, even your bad day, make it your good day on the outside of you, because your inside, there's nothing you can do about it but pray and give it to God.
Yes. Yes. You know what? Look. Yes. You know, I cheer for you. I cheer for you. I cheer for you. And I cheer for you too. But I also challenge you to do what you need to do to make yourself a priority in your life. I love that. I love that you are sharing. This is a conversation that I've been trying to get you for a minute now. Yes. And I'm glad that, look, your health allowed it, that our schedules have aligned,
Yes.
And for such a time as this, because this is precious, y'all. Y'all don't understand. We don't live in the same state anymore, but she is near and dear to my heart. Like I said, when we look back and say, man, your oldest person, she Felicia, uh, Felicia, Felicia. And this is precious, and just to see how God has kept you and keeping you and
Mhm.
watching you, business, right? Business venture, marriage,
Yes.
grown kids, despite, right? Because I love what
Mhm.
you said at the beginning, the good definitely outweigh the bad, right?
Yes.
And that's really what it needs to look like. And it's a choice. We get to choose and make the decision to move and act as if it is, because we have faith. And if we believe that, we cannot say we believe in God, but then always acting like ain't nothing
Mhm.
right. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Absolutely.
Actually, one of the questions that I do ask all of my guests is, if you had to think about a word, if you had to quickly center yourself that makes you come back, right? I often tell people one of the quickest ways when your mind is scattered and you feeling displaced, and one of the quickest ways, of course, the things to bring you back to your present, being present, is to then tap into your senses, right? It's like,
Mhm.
think about the things that you're the smelling, even touch your chest and feel your heart and say, I'm still alive, to
Mhm.
bring to center you quickly. If you had to find a word that could be that thing to help you quickly say, I need to center myself, or this is my one word when to make me think about me, not besides, God, we know, besides Jesus, right? Jesus. Besides that, what would be that word for you? And what does that word mean for you when you think about putting you first, when you think about you first, self first, making yourself a priority? What would that word be for you?
Mm. That word, you gonna think I'm crazy, but when I need to recenter myself, the one thing that I say is Ann Lee, my grandmother,
Mm,
because she is still and will always be my inspiration. Because I when she took ill, she didn't think about her illness. She didn't think about anything but her family. She still kept us the center of what she was going through. And I remember the last conversation I had with her. She said, I need to get better so I could take care of that little boy. Now, I didn't know, I knew I was pregnant, but I didn't know the sex of my baby. And she told me that. So every time I need to recenter myself, I think about Ann Lee Jackson, which is um, my maternal grandmother, and that keeps me going. And always her favorite scripture, I will lift up my eyes to the hills from which cometh my help. I recite that all day long, especially when I'm going through. She is and will always be the center of my joy. Besides, God, my family, my auntie, and Auntie Joyce is another person that I think about, because I'll say, what would Auntie Joyce do? Like people say, what would Jesus do? What would Auntie Joyce do? Auntie Joyce would give us a whole lecture and say, girl, you better get up and do what you're supposed to do. Mama built us forward tough, and she did. So that's my word, Ann Lee. I can't
I
I
love
can't think of
it.
nothing else but her. When I'm going through, I think about what she went through, but she still thought about us. So
Wow.
she keeps me going. And then, I always got to call Auntie Joyce, and some of y'all know her. And Auntie Joyce will give us that speech. She's like she's like the Ann Lee in our life right now. She give you that speech, she'll give you a word, and she said, okay, I'm about to go to bed. Goodbye.
Yeah. Well, y'all like her, don't y'all? That's like your second mom anyway.
Yes.
You look on your third mom.
Yes.
Your third. That's like your third mom. That's like your third mom. And in some cases, I see and feel that in some cases she's an aunt. She's an auntie, mother, sister.
Yeah. She's all of that wrapped up into
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's special, and
Hmm.
that's a good space to be in, and that's a good
Yeah.
place to be loved, to have that type of love in your life to help you, and the people that can recognize. That's the
Hmm.
when people can recognize and say, "I need you to think about you."
Hmm.
It's like having those people in your corner to say,
Hmm.
I know we could, or I would love to do that, but I need you to think about, I do need you to rest.
Yeah.
Right now, I need you to sit down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I need
And
you to rest.
she'd be the one to tell you that, because it was a situation that I had, and the first thing she said was, girl, you was a good mother. You don't owe your grown kids nothing. What you do for them now, they ought to be thankful, because only child you have is Lanaya. And it made perfect sense. I mean, they're going to always need us because we're their mother, but don't continue to be that crutch to them. Let them, you taught them how to stand on them two little legs and feet, just like mama did with us. It's time for you to let them do them. Always have their back, but think about you now. And think about that little girl that you had at 40. She the one needs you the most.
Well, that's another episode for another day, people, because that's another something that we have in common. I told you. I mean, you would have thought we were twins. We were a day apart. We were a day apart, and we both had our youngest both
a month apart.
A freaking month apart. Did I say freaking? I did say freaking, because that's how I actually felt. A freaking month apart. Not only were we at but we had our youngest, both of us, at the age of 40, and our children, they're a month apart.
A month apart. Mm-hmm.
That's like the wildest thing in the world, and I can't even explain it. That's some God got a sense of humor.
And that's what I said. I knew he had a sense of humor when you called to tell me about you, and I laughed. And then a month later, I called to tell you.
Is that not something? I'm telling you, right? Like, hey, guess what? Yeah, right. See, you better not be laughing at your friends, people. That's the story too.
Yes. Within yourself.
Woo! This has been wonderful. This has been wonderful. You know that I love you for life, to life. Yes. All of those things, and you being a part of the community it's been the richer, because you are there. You do comments, you being in the community, and that means something, because it is the community. Because when you think about when you think of online community and being online, and like you said, you saying good morning, you with the smile, even though people know that you may not be feeling well, but how you press through, and somebody be saying, if like you said, thinking about Ann Lee, they'd be like, man, if she can do that, if she can pull herself up, then I know it. Shoot, I know I can do it. I can do it. So I appreciate you being a part of our online community, because that's you being a light, right? And saying, let our light so shine. So I want to thank you for showing up online. Thank
you. And I have to do, I said I need to do better, because I ran into my former first lady, and she was telling me, like, she got two aunties that look forward to me getting on Facebook and putting my picture and saying, good morning to you, and you were saying this is the day the Lord has made. And then I went MIA for like a couple of weeks. And I don't know why. It's probably because the new job or whatever. And they were like, is everything going okay with Felicia? Because we miss Miss Fancy and her good mornings and our scriptures, and when she do the little prayers. And I said to her, well, you let them know that I'm going to do better in getting back to doing that, because I never knew what an impact me putting that picture up, saying what I say to people, encouraging people, meant a lot to people. But I have friends now that be like, you didn't put up a good morning post. And I'm like, girl, because I ran into work trying to get some coffee and had to get my desk started. So I'm going to start doing better with my online community encouragement, because I realize we have a lot of mothers, wives that may not get that attention that they need from home, but a little word that you say, like yourself first. You get on there and you brighten everybody's day, you smiling. That helps a lot, with women that need that. So I've been, I told a couple of my friends about your page. So if you see some strange names, they came from me. I'm not going to say their name on here, but I'll inbox you. So you get,
they need to get in and get active.
They need to get in and get that morning inspiration. See that smile. You let people know that at the end of the day, no matter what you went through last night, look here, Shawanna, I'm up, I'm ready. Self first, let's do this. So I'll send you their names. So if it come across, you just, Felicia sent them to Self First. Yes, I did.
No, I like that, because that's what this is about, and that's why creating this forward to spotlight the community, online community, is to say, see, it's not just me. I want people to hear from the community.
Absolutely.
So they can hear your story and say, this is what I'm talking about, right? Because some people can't go outside and talk to a literal neighbor. They don't have that. And a lot of people, especially when we were dealing with the pandemic, all they had was online. A lot of people have online family. So when something happens, you'd be like you said, where is that? Where are they at? Where are they missing them? I don't see the picture, right? Look, there's some other things I could teach you and tell you offline, and we'll do that too. But I want to thank you for pausing for the cause for this.
Thank you.
Self first is you first spotlight, because it is about you. I love you. Don't you go nowhere. Let me get them out of here. Don't you move. Don't you move. Hey guys, y'all see that? Felicia Hale. I love her. I love her. Our history go back way far, but then when you can look back and pull almost over 50 years. Did I say that? Over 50 years. And it's the truth, over 50 years of friendship, and then still being able to be a part of each other's ecosystem, even from across the globe. What does that look like for you? Who is in your world? Who is in your world to help you be a better you? Who is in your world that needs you to show up your best, right? So make yourself a priority in your life, because somebody needs you, right? The authentic you, the true you, the real you, because we do change. We go through seasons. But in this season, be more present in your life. You already know me. I'm Shawanna Kennedy. I love you guys. You already know it's about you. So I'll see you guys for our next episode, our next member spotlight.
It's